Hi everyone, Susie here from Minnesota, and I garden in a zone 4B, and I'm just gonna take in an update of some fall color in my gardens and a tree update. We did have a frost, so caladiums are gonna start looking like this. I'm surprised that one is still upright. Just give it a bit, it'll start bucking. I did cover this up. I have so much, and that was the only fleece cloth I had. I didn't have any sheets, anything extra, so it is what it is. I'm ready to clean up. This year, I kind of have a game plan. I want everything done before November 1st. Just because the season gets away from me, and then I have so much to do in the spring, so I'm just hoping to stay ahead of the game. Hydrangeas offer amazing fall color. I'm glad I have these over here. But that being said, I'm gonna kind of cut back on hydrangeas. I'm not going to buy any next year. I have a lot in my garden. I think I have, I don't know, maybe 20. I think that's enough. I know everybody loves hydrangeas, but they kind of steal the show from other plants. It's not a bad thing, but I also want other plants to shine too. It's just gorgeous. I feel so bad for this little limelight because this plant here, the castor oil bean, acted as a sail. So I was done. The other day we had high winds on Sunday and I was tired of picking it back up, so it got the chop. This I think will start looking tough, the coleus. Love these grasses through here. It's kind of like a little window, little door. I just don't know how much I like them anymore. I think they're gorgeous. They just get floppy this late in the season, but look at that color. But if I was to replace these, I'd go with another grass, just probably the Korean featherweed grass, which I can grow from seed. And I do have that grown in my garden. Look at that. Some of the Gara looks tough. That's okay. They're just seeds I grew. This is FloralnHardy in a container. I'm just gonna keep it here. It may or may not survive the winter. I'm just kind of doing some tests. Like I said, I went a little crazy with hydrangeas this year. I always do, and then I'm like, I have to stop. I'm gonna walk. I love this one. You can tell this gets more sun over here. That one looks fried. Have to go to the way site tonight. Like I said, I'm trying to stay ahead of the cleaning. My least favorite job. This still looks pretty good. Oh, the foxgloves I grew from seed look pretty good. This is an alyssum, and it can take some cooler temps, and it smells lovely, so I love this here. I do have some clematis back here, the Viticella Polish Spirit. That one's just been blooming so long. I love that. And then a little hottie here. Looks better in the ground. The color looks a little bit better. Really like that. And sedums, what can I say? Autumn Joy. The other day that was covered in bees. Love that color. Just turning it over here. This is Firelight Tidbit over here. I think this is really pretty. Still got some color on my coneflowers there. I do not know the variety. So this is what it looks like. End of September, I think it's looking pretty good, at least in my book. And love the lamb's ear. This is a vigorous spreader. Like, to be better about managing it. Look at the hardy geranium, how much that, I can't even get it all on. Unbelievable. Not gonna go to the front of the house just because there's nothing really offering a whole lot of color besides the heuchras, which you have seen. The turtlehead Chelone looks amazing. Those winds really did do a number on it. The bees just love this, that late color. Oh, and then this is a Persicaria painter's palette. Look at these dainty little, love it. And that foliage. Korean feathered grass looks amazing with the light coming from the back. This is what I mean, it's just gorgeous. And then we get into the shady spot. Chilly, it's kind of in the 40s right now. Hopefully you can hear me. I've got the sirens in the back. So I have decided to have this tree taken down. And what made my decision is, okay, so this is the one that went down in May. I just kind of keep hearing someone. And I was expecting this to go down at some point. It never did. But this one did just about a week ago, and that was a huge branch. So it's just, I no longer feel safe around this tree. This is where my dogs are always at. It's where I sit over here. And my patio area is back there. I no longer have friends and family that really want to be out here either. They just don't feel safe. We're always looking up wondering which one's gonna fall, because the ones that came down were, well, they looked good. So I mean, this one right here is huge and it's hanging over this whole area. So the house can be fixed. So it's difficult because this has been a focal point in my yard for such a long time, and a huge shade tree. I don't care that it's messy. Every tree is messy if you ask me. I honestly, I really have a thing about maples. I think they're probably one of the messiest trees, but that's besides the point. Like I said, even being around here, the other day it was so windy, I heard creaking, and I just, I get nervous. And even whenever I had my dogs out, I no longer let them out and have a little, I'm like, you're out and you're in, that's it. And that's kind of sad because I kind of have this built for them, but I'm really nervous. So he's coming by today just to give his opinion. He's a little bit of a tree hugger, and that's fine, so am I. But it's just comes down to safety. Like I said, the house, I can replace the siding and windows and whatnot, the roof, that's easily fixed. But I can't people, I can't pets, and nobody wants to be outside anymore, even me, and that's sad. And then I do have my fight, and that's another one that that's tiny. That's like, as far as I'm concerned, compared to what, well, my neighbor and I had to take down that limb, and it was huge. It took, about an hour for him to cut, and then my nephew helped me for 2 days, so it averaged around 5 hours just to take that one limb and take it to the wayside. That was a lot of work, and that was just kind of an eye-opener. So yeah, but I'll have some shade left in this area. This one, I'm just gonna see what he thinks. Probably just gonna lighten the canopy. I don't know. At least this one, that hasn't lost any limbs this year, but this one has. My niece was the one who said another big branch came down. Well, they're huge. I mean, look at the size of it. I mean, especially this one going that way. I thought it was this ugly one, and all I thought was, yes, finally. And no, it was its neighbor. So even doing this film, I'm kind of like, because when that branch came down, there was no storm, no wind, no rain, nothing. So that's the thing. These limbs are coming down with nothing that's affecting them. Sorry, just have to looks good. But so it'll offer more light in this area, which is why I'm kind of like, yeah, debating about certain things in my garden. Well, it'll be a different story next year with a lot more sun. So, which will be good and bad for certain things, but I'll make do. And like I said, when one tree goes down, I'll put up another. Probably not as big as this. I will go with something different, ornamental. I was even thinking maybe training some lilacs into trees. So there's always that, but that's plans for next year. I'm just gonna kind of gauge the light situation. They're not gonna be trimming or cutting down the trees until about mid to late October. So yeah. So good and bad, but like I said, just a little nervous being out here. So that was some beautiful fall color. Not a lot, but enough, I think, at least in my small gardens. And then an update. So hopefully you enjoyed. And bye for now.